Folks, here's something you don't want from your agent. I'll get into that, and then the latest home prices and insights for the City of Toronto for week ending August the 2nd, 2023. So I share my experiences here on this channel, and look, I don't say every little tiny detail of the different things that I experience, but I do share the parts that I feel are relevant to the story I'm speaking about. And so last week I spoke about my experience going into a home with these buyer clients I was working with, and they loved the home, but the neighbor's backyard was a hoarder's backyard, just a mess. And that turned my clients off, and they no longer wanted to pursue that home. Even though they liked the home, because of the neighbor's situation being a hoarder, they didn't want the home anymore. Well, we received a bunch of comments. One of the comments that I want to talk about stated that a good agent would have got the price reduced and would have convinced my clients to buy the home. Maybe with the reduced price, you could put up trees or whatnot. And, you know, there's some validity to that, but not in a sense of convincing my clients. Here's how I look at it, and here's how I know most what I would consider good agents. This is how they look at their role as a realtor. We're not so much salesmen or saleswomen or salespeople. We're more consultants. So in that scenario that I spoke about, I did speak with my clients and say, look, this home, because of the neighbor situation, this home that we're looking at is probably going to be a difficult sale. They're probably not going to get the price they're at. They're going to have to come down in price. Is there a price you'd feel comfortable at buying this home at? And they said to me, well, we did live in the past back to neighbors we didn't get along with. And the fact that these guys are hoarders, we just don't want anything to do with. So at no price do we want this house. Fine, we let it go. As a consultant, my job is to bring up possible scenarios, possible situation. Many times, because of my experience, I can talk about solutions, situations, possibilities that my clients haven't thought about yet, just because they don't have the experience in buying and selling and working with sellers and buyers the way I do. Sometimes I have to not convince, but kind of put out a warning that if my clients want to do something, they'll say, Santo, let's do this. And I've got to say, look, we'll do whatever you want. However, I just want to bring up, if we go that route, this is a possible outcome. Or if we go that route, this is a likely outcome. But then I leave it to my clients to decide what's best for them and their families. After all, they're the ones paying the mortgage. They're the ones signing the agreement. My job as a consultant is to give them possible solutions, possible scenarios, possible outcomes, many times things they haven't thought about, and then they will make a decision what's best for their family. I've never convinced any buyer that they have to buy this house, or any seller, sell now. I have given scenarios and solutions that they feel comfortable pursuing one way or another, and many times it's different than what they were planning to do already. To me, that's a job of a realtor, not to convince anybody to do anything, especially something they don't want to do. If you get value from this video, please pass it along. If you want to speak with me about your real estate situation, below this video, there's a link to my calendar. Click on that, book a time that's convenient for you, and we'll speak about whatever's on your mind. Let's get into the numbers. Is August going to be the month that sellers lose all their power? Look, sellers already have lost quite a bit of power. We went from a seller's market where it's pretty clear, and you'll see in the numbers, we're sitting in a balanced market right now. But if that trend continues, are we going to make it in? Now, I'm going up because I'm talking about months of inventory in my head. That's what I'm thinking about. Are we going to go all the way from a seller's market? We're in a balanced market now. Are we going to get to a buyer's market? That's the trend right now. We're not there yet. Let's see. Here's a quick summary of average sold prices. Condos is down here, been sloping down slightly. Semis and towns actually been headed up. And detached, what happened here? We went from 1564 to 1834. That's a $270,000 increase from 1 week to the next. We're sitting now at week ending August the 2nd. I can explain what happened with the detached market. Let's start off there. So here we have City of Toronto, detached properties broken down by week for a whole year. For week ending August the 7th, 107 detached properties were sold. Sales have been trending down. 27 of those properties sold at $2 million or more. And that's up slightly from the previous few weeks. The week before was 24. This week, 27 sold at $2 million or more. So yeah, you know, the more property selling at $2 million or more will definitely affect average sold price in a positive way. So average sold price, we said, went from 1564 this week, sitting at 1834. Up until then, average sold price have been aggressively trending down. Not just 1 week, but for a few months trending straight down almost. This 1 week shot way up. What happened? This, you know, I'm looking at this thing, like we're trending down, but this 1 week, what's going on? So I looked at it a little bit closer. And I looked at not just the property selling at $2 million or more, I looked at the other end of the spectrum, property selling at $1 million or less. And if we go all the way back, say to June 28th, 22 properties sold at $1 million or less. Then 17, then 19, then 20. The previous week, 25 properties sold at $1 million or less. This current week, only 10 properties, that's it, sold at $1 million or less. So the amount of properties selling at $2 million or more went up, and a property selling at $1 million or less, the other side of the spectrum, went way down from 25 to 10. That's what happened. That's why the average sold price shot way up. But we're not basing any kind of decisions here on what happens on a weekly basis. We're looking for trends. So if this trend continues of very few selling at the low end of the spectrum and more continuing to sell at the top end of the spectrum, well, then we're going to see average prices sitting way up there. If this 1 week was a lucky week, well, then next week we're going to see average price come down to what we would consider the normal trend that we're on right now. So we'll keep an eye on that. Compared to last year, average sold price is 10% higher than where we were this time last year. But let's look at the year-over-year review here for a second. For the last, since the middle of June, we've been up 2, 3, 4, 5 percentage. We've been up 2, 3, 4, 5% higher than where we've been last year. We've been pretty consistent now for the last 2.5 months. Average sold price is $1,300,000 and not average sold price, sorry. Median price is $1,390,000, which is also way up from the previous week. It's a product of the sales for that week. That's where that number comes from. Overall, average price and median price have been trending down. This 1 week, yeah, we're going to see a change there. Let's see what happens next week. Sales have been trending down. We've actually, if you compare to last year, the blue, those are last year's sales. We've been outperforming the sales that we did last year during the summer. The amount of property selling at list price or more, the percentage has been declining. Listings have been declining, and we're listing slightly more for the last couple months than we were listing last year at this time. active listings, the amount of properties available for sale at weekend has been increasing. Months of inventory has been increasing. We're sitting now at 2.8 months of inventory. And we're saying that between 3 months and 5 months is a balanced market. Well, we're right at the border there of a balanced market for detached properties. Here's a summary of all of Toronto broken down into nine sections. Months of inventory for all of Toronto's 2.8, but some areas are outperforming all of Toronto. Scarborough sitting at 2.2, East York, Beaches area sitting at 1.5, High Park sitting at 2.4 months of inventory, Etobicoke sitting at 2 months of inventory. So those areas are helping to bring months of inventory down, and then to compensate, the areas bringing months of inventory up. York Mills, Rosedale sitting at 4 months of inventory. Willowdale, Bayview, Village area, 4.3 months of inventory. Weston, Yorkdale, 4.6 months of inventory. So you're going to experience different buying patterns, different situations, different markets in different parts of Toronto. Here's a quick look at semis. 42 semi-detached properties were sold. 8 of those were at $1.5 million or more. Sales have been trending down. Average price sitting at $1.3 million. It's up from last week. However, we were sitting in the around 1.4 to high 1.4 range. Now we're sitting much lower. 1.3 seems about the average kind of where we are right now, which is what the average sold price is. The median price is $1,190,000. Average sold price is 12% higher than where we were a year ago. The median price is 5% higher than where we were a year ago. And both have been trending down over the last couple months. 62% of the semis that sold at list price or more. And months of inventory sitting at 1.4, and that has been trending up. Here's townhouses. What can I say? Only 8 freehold townhouses were sold in all of the city of Toronto. 1 of those was at $1.5 million or more. Average sold price of the 8, it's not many, not a big sample to choose from here. Average sold price sitting at $1,189,000. 1,189 is 20% higher than where we were a year ago. The median price of $1,088,000 is 21% higher than where we were this time last year. And months of inventory sitting at 3.7. So it's been going way up from where we used to be we had a whole bunch of weeks where we're at 0.8 months of inventory. Now we're sitting at 3.7 months of inventory. Let's take a look at condos. These are condo apartments. There's no condo townhouses in here. Only condo apartments we're looking at. 216 were sold. Sales have been trending down. 19 of those sold at $1 million or more. That amount is also much lower than where we were the last few weeks. For the last 2 weeks, we're sitting at 30 and 29 before that. We're now at 19 selling at $1 million or more. Average sold price has come down. It's sitting at, sitting at $741,000. It's pretty clear prices have been trending down. $741,000 is 3% higher than where we were a year ago. The median price of $675,000 is 2% higher than where we were a year ago. Both have been trending down. That's the median and the average price, but not so aggressively trending down, just a little bit over the last 3 months. 216 we said were sold. If we look at the blue, which are last year's sales, we're outpacing what we were doing in sales this time last year. However, still trending down. The amount of property selling or the amount of condo selling at list price or more, that percentage has been coming down. We were sitting in the 50s before. We're now in the high 30s or 40s. We're sitting at 41% for week ending August the 2nd. Listings. At some point, not too long ago, up to about a month ago, listings were increasing slightly. Now they're starting to come down. 611 condos were listed last week, and over the span of the last 3-4 weeks, listings have been coming down. Active listings are increasing, so there's more and more condos to choose from. Months of inventory for condos sitting at 3.6 months of inventory. 3 months ago, we were at 1.5, and now it's more than doubled in 3 months. So months of inventory is going up, prices trending down for condo apartments. Here's a quick summary. Except for semis, we're pretty much in a balanced market. For many, many, many months, we were sitting in a seller's market down here, much below 3 months of inventory. Now for towns and condos, we're in a balanced market, and I can tell you for detached in many neighborhoods, it's going to feel and is very much a balanced market. Are we going to get up here to where we say it's a buyer's market? We'll see, but right now it's trending that way. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.